Hey guys, VTAttero here, and today I bring you a Starcraft 2 Shoutcast featuring some Protoss vs Terran, Terran vs Protoss, whatever your preferred order of race matchup is, on the map Xel'naga Caverns. Xel'naga Caverns, what a great map Xel'naga Caverns is. It's just a decently small map and can get pretty action-packed pretty quick. I really enjoy casting games on Xel'naga Caverns. I think it's a good time, and I don't believe I have casted a Protoss vs Terran game on my channel yet. Again, I'm pretty new to shoutcasting over here, pretty new on the StarCraft 2 scene, so I'm pretty happy to be doing one to start off on Xel'naga Caverns. I mean, great map to cast. So with that said, let us introduce the players whose gameplay we will be watching right now. Spawning in the bottom left corner as the red Protoss, we have VTAttero, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that name wrong, so I don't want to butcher that anymore. Again, you're watching VTAttero's YouTube, gonna mispronounce some things. And spawning in the top right corner as the blue Terran, we've got oGsHireN. I do believe that is how you say it, but then again, I could be completely and utterly wrong. So we're just going to refer to these guys as the Protoss player and the Terran player for ease of understanding, ease of announcing for me. Those mixing up names is not fun, and it is not easy to follow by you. So we've got Protoss player scouting probe, making his way across the map here, and we have a barracks going down. Sweet, looking at the resource tab, barracks going down at 14, pretty standard, nothing too crazy there. Got the supply deep down, and we have, looks like a refinery going down, looking to collect some gas right there. For the TOS player, we have the first gateway going down here. And do we have an assimilator up yet? No, we are not looking like to see a mirror. Oh, there goes the assimilator, speak of the devil, right there. So both of them are getting their gas out pretty quick. This SUV here is going to bat that scouting probe out of the base, so we can't gain much scouting information there. But both are going for, I would say, decently quick gas. So this looks like it might be a pretty interesting match here. Looking like we might see some big units out here. That probe is still just coming in, just harassing around. He is going to run back, gain some scouting information. Looks like he's going to his middle line as he is going to see this command center morph into an orbital. We'll see the refinery down there, and we've got the gateway finishing. That probe is coming back. He is not just bringing that probe back home. That probe is just causing trouble in his base. He's just dancing around the base right there. He is just going to park him in that corner and use him for any further scouting information. So we got a little late SCV coming down here for the Terran player. He will see the gateway going down. So I kind of agree with the scouting a little bit later because, I mean, he sees what's actually going on versus, oh, he's got a gateway down. Never seen that before. But if he's doing some, like, nut buster, like, build to just rush him out and just GTFO the game early, if he scouts that late, he is not going to see that very well. Let's look at the production tab here. We have that tech lab up. The first Marine coming out, and the first Zealot looks like it will be finishing for the Protoss player to bat that SCV out of the main base. Excuse me, vase. SCV is going to be running away. He is chrono boosting out the Stalker and researching warp gate technology in the Cybernetics core over here. Here we got the door, and the probe is going back. He is going to steal the gas. That is why he parked the probe in the corner of the base. He is going to put an assimilator down, steal that geyser. Oh, man. That is great. That is really an annoyance, as now we have the early expansion going down for oGsHireN. That is just, oh, man. Great play. That is why he parked the probe in the main base. And we have some penis spam going through the chat right now. Nothing better than just seeing a nice old penis right there in the chat. Great. Fantastic. That is exactly what I want to see in my shoutcast. And we got some Stalkers and Zealots looking like they will be, excuse me, moving out for a early game push here as we have the second barracks going down. That factory did a switch on the tech lab. Looks like we'll see some siege tanks coming out right. And this Stalker is going to look like going right after those two Marines, but the bunker just finishes. That Stalker won't be able to do anything with that SUV behind it, repairing it. So it looks like the Protoss player will bring his troops back to the base. I mean, I keep going to the Terran base, seeing that assimilator right there. What a great play. So we got one warp gate almost finished over there. We have siege tank on the field for even more defense. And that command center is almost finished, looking to be going to that natural. Second siege tank is on the way. And we got another Marine coming out of the barracks. That was a pretty interesting strategy there with the switch of the tutorial. And we got a robotics facility right now with the observer out and two more gateways going down. So what I'm thinking is we might see a Colossi. Some Colossi, a Colossus. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool to see. Colossus are always fun to watch. And this command center is complete, and he is morphing that into an orbital as well. We'll be moving that I'm sure down to his natural. And these three stalks moving across the map, looking to do some harassment. That SCV will be right there Looks like he's going to gain some scouting information, but in fact sees this Stalker kind of push here and will retreat back. We have a proxy pylon going down there, looking to send in some early reinforcements, looking to make a very big push here. That bunker and those siege tanks will cause a massive problem, as he will turn, the Protoss player will turn his troops away again, but this pylon is there, just going to be ready to warp in some reinforcements, as we have 3 warp gates in a pretty interesting, like, order over here. We got, like, the triangle of warp gates and the robotics facility. So that's cool, and we got the Immortal coming out, that's going to do some damage, and a sentry on the field. Very cool. And all these are rallied right in front of the Terrans player base. So if he lifts that command center off right now to go to the natural, he is going to have to fight a miniature army of sorts in order to get down there. And that is exactly what he's going to do. Stalkers are going on for some early game harassment right now. But those 3 siege tanks are going to cause massive damage to the Stalkers. Even though siege tech is not yet on, I don't even think it's been researched yet. So those siege tanks are just there for defense. Warp against war reinforcements here. Looking at the units lost tab. 3 for the Terran player, 2 for the Protoss player. And we have 2 bunkers going down there right now, hoping to just seal off the walls. We can get the natural, but those Stalkers and that Immortal on the field is coming back. Will his Marines and 3 siege tanks be able to bat off that attack? Because again, that pylon is right there, ready to just warp in reinforcements as needed. That is very dangerous for the Terran player, as those bunkers are now under construction by the SVs. The Terran player has now lost 11 units. Now, what a great wall by the sentry, and those, oh man, those siege tanks are just going to go down. 15 units lost to the blue Terran player. More reinforcements warping in right now. Oh my god, those 2 bunkers are going to go down, and he is not going to be able to secure that expansion. What a play by the Protoss player. In fact, even going up into the main base, going to take out that bunker. Fantastic play. Here comes the siege tanks reinforcements. That bunker will be destroyed, bringing the Marines out of it. Just great harassment by the Protoss player. Great harassment. Looking at the production tab, we got 4 more Marines and 1 more siege tank coming out here. For the Terran player, got another Immortal now for the Protoss. It's hard to keep track of the Protoss production because of the warp gates, but we are moving into the main Terran base right now. What a harass. We have a 3rd command center that is built and being upgraded to orbital command. Oh my god, 3 command centers in the same base. But what's going to happen? We have an army of Stalkers. The SCVs are pulled off the line to fight, and they're just going to have to run out. Looking at the units lost tab, 24-16, so able to bat off that harassment with all of his SCVs. Oh my god. But again, that proxy pylon right there is just causing so much trouble for the Terran player right now. I like how I just got sent that message as I was just screaming, and the Stalkers are going to be moving back into the Terran main base. Oh, but that is a substantial army of Marines right now. Oh man, looking at the units tab, we have 15 Marines and a siege tank versus 5 Stalkers, 2 Immortals. So those, I do believe, will definitely be able to fend off those attacks. But again, we've got 3 orbital commands right now, just in the main base. Now, the Protoss player is now throwing down an expansion. As I was going to say, has not expanded yet. He'll start down the natural, and we are going to come to a fight in the middle here of the Terran main, but not really, because both armies are going to back off. Okay. And we got just some more units warping in. 7 Stalkers is 20 Marines now. Pumping out those Marines with the double racks reactors right there. And just sort of stalemating for the Terran main's door. But he can pick at that orbital command right there. Possibly destroy it with the right micro. And it looks like he will try to do some damage to that right now. Really not making any strong, not really another strong push like right up the door. That observer right there is able to see everything that is going on. How's he gonna expand right now? I just don't know. That natural expansion is just gonna be just a bitch to get to, really, having to fight through that army. And his troops are just fighting at the front door right now. Looking at the units lost tab, 41 units lost to the Protoss 17. This is fantastic play by the Protoss player right now. That front door harassment. Looking at the resources tab, pretty even at resources now, but this base almost being complete is definitely going to put the Protoss player ahead of the Terran player. Looking at the Protoss base again, just on the same rush, and we've got an army marching right up into the Terran main base. Looking at the units lost tab, upwards of 50 units lost right now for the blue Terran player. I don't know if he's going to be able to handle it right now. He has 5 Marines and 1 siege tank left. Could this be a winning push of the game? Could he be able to take it right here? We got 2 Marauders, 5 Marines, and a Hellion on the field versus 3 Stalkers and 1 Immortal. So no, he will not be able to push through for the win right now, as the Terran player is just barely able to fight off this attack. But again, we've got The proxy pylon is warping more units in, and as that command center, he is seizing the moment of the Protoss player marching pretty much his entire army right now up into his main base to naturally expand. Now the Protoss has no fight right now. So that is great play by the Terran player. As I was saying, great play by the Protoss player earlier. Looking back at it, in fact, pushing his army into the main. He was preventing the expansion here from the blue Terran player with this proxy pylon over here, which the Terran player still does not see. Oh, looks like he does have some visibility on that pylon right there. Looks like he'll be all right. He'll be all right. He will see the pylon, and I'm sure he's going to take it out to prevent more units warping in. What seems logical. This observer score is going to see this Empire expansion going up right here, and that pylon, of course, is going to go down. No more proxy units in, but again, got the expansion up way sooner. Got rolling now. The Protoss player, of course, is going to be a little bit ahead of supply, but as I was saying before, he pushed up into his main base when really, if he just camped his unit at the front door, if he built up enough of his army and kept macroing up units, he would have been able to make a very much more substantial push. And he is, in fact, destroying the destructible rocks over here, looking to take the gold. Now, that is a problem with pushing up with that army. He was preventing him from all expansions, and now he's able to go to the natural. He's going to be able to bring his other command center over to the orbital. Siege tech is now being researched, and 2 starports are, in fact, on the way. So he is now building a Terran empire of sorts to, in fact, pose a threat. And we have this observer seeing the destructible rocks going down. And we have extended thermal lens and a Colossus on the field. I knew we were going to see Colossus. Colossus are fun. 2 Colossi on the field. Colossi, play over Colossus, of course. And we have, what do we have here? We have a pylon by the back door, looking to get some visibility of that line of sight little tree there. We got this probe coming out, looking to scout the back way over here, looking to see if there's a base underway in this area for the Terran player. But it appears that there is not. In fact, he has not moved the 3rd orbital command. We are doing just bases flying everywhere right now. We have the Infernal Pre-Igniter being researched for Hellions. But of course, he does see the destructible rocks are down on this gold. So I'm thinking he's going to lift off this command center at some point and move it over to the gold. That is my prediction. But as we've seen through this game, my predictions usually don't go too well. So we've got Vikings on the way. And, well, those are going to pretty much directly counter the Colossi. I always want to say Colossuses, but really, it should be Colossi. We have a very strong defensive wall over here. 4 siege tanks sieged up. God, getting past that is going to be a bitch. Wow. But, of course, those Vikings are now coming out on the field. And, of course, the reactors are on the starports to pump those out to fight off the Colossi strike. And we are at over 100 supply now for both players. And the Vikings are on the field. Those Colossi, of course, won't be as useful as it would be. However, if he can micro his stalkers correctly to just take out the Vikings are pretty damn squishy. I think it could. We have the 3rd expansion now going down to the high yield gold for the Protoss player. So again, remaining just that little bit of 1 expansion ahead of the Terran player. I really think he should move that orbital command down to the gold right now. It would be, I think, a good time to seize this opportunity. He clearly, I do believe, looking at the units tab, I do believe he has the larger army. What I would be concerned about is the sentry's wall. If the sentries are able to block the Marines in, the Vikings could still fly over, but the Vikings would in fact be vulnerable then for the stalkers, of course. And just scanning down there to see if there is an observer present. And this expansion, sending over the probes, he's getting from the gold right away. His main base is all mined out of minerals, and he is now going to take the high yield gold. The Terran player flying his command center, in fact, over. But we have this just orbital command just chilling out right there. Just chilling. Just chilling. This production tab right now is... that is not the production tab. That is the units tab. Excuse me. Messing up my train of thought there. Land that command center right there. Getting SCVs over right away to get that expansion just up and running. All those siege tanks sieging up. Oh my god. Of course, we have Protoss ground weapons level 1 being researched. More Hellions on the field. More reactors going up. 2 more refineries. Just getting this base underway. Look at this main base. This is just a cool main base. This is like a Terran empire again. Like I've said that like so many times. Looking at the units tab right now. 9 Vikings on the field. Versus 3 Colossi. Those Vikings are going to tear the assholes of those Colossi up. I don't care how extended your thermal lens is. The Protoss player has like no anti-air except for the Stalkers. No Void Rays, no Phoenixes. know anything. So those Vikings are just going to see, oh, Colossi, boom, 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 you're dead. Then my 20 Marines and 5 Marauders, and of course my 10 sieged up siege tanks, which, oh my god, I don't know how you're going to penetrate 10 sieged up siege tank. It's just going to ruin your day. It's just going to ruin your day. I really, like, the Protoss player had such a strong harassment going at the beginning of his match, and right now, he's kind of a bit behind. I mean, he has the 9 more supply in his army, but to what expense? And he is sending out his Vikings right now, but it looks like pulling them back just looks like going to be sending them out to scout. Those Stalkers will see them. Stalkers will be moving over, hoping to take some of them out, but those Vikings will escape. Not much harm done. We do have Zealot Charge being researched. Now, that is what, as a Protoss player, you need to take out the siege tanks. Because the siege tanks, to a certain range, are not going to be able to, like, shoot at you. So if you have your Zealots charge right in to go just razor slice the shit out of those siege tanks, it'll turn out a whole lot better for you. Those siege tanks are slowly creeping across the middle of the map, making an impenetrable wall for any Protoss forces that, in fact, would try. And, of course, they're creeping towards the gold expansion right now. Eventually, if they creep on over here, they're going to be able to just fire away at the group of Stalkers we got over here. And, of course, the Colossi hanging out. And what we got is the army composition. 19 Marines, 13 Siege Tanks, 9 Vikings, 20 Hellions, and 5 Marauders. There's 5 Sentries, 11 Stalk. Oh, no. He's sending the Vikings. That one Viking will go down. Will he lose another Viking? He has to get those Vikings out of there. And those Siege Tanks are now shelling away at the Protoss high yield, but it looks like the Protoss army is going around the left for a flank. This will pose as the Prophet Terran player going around that back, but moving his massive ground army there, firing away. But we have a planetary fortress up for the Terran player. The Zealots will be going in to take away from it, but not much. This Protoss army just getting blown away from this Terran. Units lost tab, just creeping up for both players right now, but those Vikings are going to be able to fire away the Colossi. In fact, there is a Colossi down. Well, a second will go down. 2 Colossi down. Those Colossi just could not hold up against the Vikings. Though the Terran player has lost more, the Protoss player has lost over 10,000 resources. News lost. And we have another battle going on in the field. Of course, that last Colossi is going to go down. This massive army, this massive Terran army, I think, is it going to be able, is it enough? I've been saying, I don't know how the Protoss is going to stand against this Terran army. I don't see how the Protoss is going to stand against this Terran army, but it looks like this battle right here is going to be pretty evenly matched, bringing them down in just a few siege tanks. Got some Vikings around the back, but the siege tanks are, again, shelling away at the high yield expansion over here. And the Protoss army will not be able to handle it. But at the units, the only thing the Protoss player has left is 5 Zealots. 5 Zealots, 2 Immortals coming out now, but he is on the edge. The high yield expansion is gone, and now moving his army to natural, and those Zealots, warping in units like mad, is charging over. We have the second robotics facility, trying to build another Immortal as fast as he can, and there's a GG from VTAttero. And there is the win for oGsHireN, fighting out the initial assault in his main base to push out and win the game. What a game that was. Thanks for watching, guys. Please excuse all my blunders that I had, that I tried to correct myself. I didn't correct myself, of course. I'm sorry. I apologize for mixing things up. Please leave your comments in the comment section about how you think I'm doing shoutcasting, any tips you could give to me to further improve my videos. And, of course, I'm all hyped up from that now, so I'm going to go rip a t-shirt in half. See you guys later.